Good morning, Bryte Church, and Happy New Year to you. Welcome to another devotional. I wanted to talk to you about this idea that oftentimes in culture we hear of finishing strong. Coaches encourage their racers as they're completing a race or a set of exercises. They say, finish strong. When you're working out, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, I've been doing this exercise, I feel kind of weak, but the last few repetitions, I'm going to finish strong. In classes, in work, this concept comes up over and over again. We feel that on those last steps, we should somehow not only match our performance, but exceed it. Go beyond what we've been doing and somehow do it a little better. So the question I want to ask you is, did you finish this past year with the New Year's resolutions finishing strong? I don't want anybody to be self-conscious. You've probably already made new resolutions for the New Year's. Out with the old, in with the new. But Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve, they probably put a little bit of a hamper on your resolutions. If it was to eat a little bit less, to lose a little bit of weight, the holidays do not contribute or help with that at all. If it's some kind of spiritual disciplines that were your resolution, I'm sure that the holiday parties and everything that's going on kind of throws you out of whack. So it's not a surprise for a lot of us that instead of finishing the year strong, we finish the year weak. And the question for you then is, have you come to terms with that? Is that something that you say, okay, I understand and it is what it is, or does it weigh you down a little bit? And I love the fact that these failures, they reveal to us a critical truth. We are weak in the soul. We are weak in our own soul, and there is nothing and no personal goal that would strengthen us. And even for those of you who achieved your personal goals, who achieved your New Year's resolutions, you got to the end, you did everything you were supposed to, everything you wanted to. Your soul is still weak, and no personal goals will strengthen it. I wanted to read from Romans chapter 7 for our devotionals. It reads like this: "For I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing that hates me." And then verse 18, "For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is in my flesh, for I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep doing." You see, whatever your goals were, whether they were spiritual or whether they were physical, it reveals our failures. They reveal something about our nature. They reveal something about us. We are weak. We are weak in ourselves. And the great part of coming terms with that reality is that we can diagnose the disease that we have. We can diagnose the ailment that makes our life so much more difficult. And that in itself is not good news, but the good news comes in the fact that that ailment, that disease, it has a healer, it has a doctor who can resolve it for us. Our disease of a weak soul, it can be cured by only Jesus. And we think that something or someone will cure our souls. And if we look back to these few weeks, if you work all the time, then maybe in the past weeks you've had 2 weeks off. Maybe you've had a whole week off. Maybe just a few days for Christmas and for New Year's, but you had some time off. And did it soothe your soul? Did it fix the ails that you had? Maybe it's school. You're on vacation. Maybe it's a lack of material things. You thought that was the problem. That was the ailment. And you've probably gotten some Christmas gifts. And I don't think that they fixed that ailment of your soul. Does that soothe your soul? Do those things soothe your soul? And if not, why not? Finishing weak is not as hopeless as it sounds. You're probably going to hear and maybe even read some things that say, finish the year strong. Messages that encourage you to finish the year strong. But I encourage you, lean into your failures. Learn from your failures. Weakness lets you lean into the reality of who you actually are. And at our core, at the center of our being, we are weak souls. We are weak souls when it relates to even physical things, but more so and completely so when it relates to spiritual things. Spiritual success is not built on efforts or exertions, but on the Spirit that lives within us. And the reason why I say finish weak, I say finish weak because there is one to who, if you say, I am weak, he will say, I am strong. And Christ will finish strong for all of us. Amen, and God bless.